All right, coming in at number 35 on the Locked On Senators 2025 NHL Draft Rankings, we're heading to the USHL, where we find Adam Benák, who is standing 5'7". You got to get that out of the way. But his elite hockey IQ, vision, and playmaking have him still, despite the fact that he's a centerman at 5'7", still as an early second-round pick.
Yeah, I mean, overlook, no pun intended, overlook Benák at your expense, Ross, because this guy is an elite playmaker with legitimate top-tier vision. With the Youngstown Phantoms in the USHL, 56 games, 17 goals, 42 assists, 59 points, above a point per game, 36 PIMs, +1. And then in the playoffs, 3 assists in 3 games. He even popped off with Czechia in the U18, where he was an assistant captain. In 4 games, he had 7 points, 5 assists. I love the way this guy is able to set guys up, Ross. Like, go watch highlights of Adam Benák, and you see him threading passes through traffic, through multiple lanes, sticks, skates, everything. He's getting it through. And not only is it getting through, Ross, right on the tape, and that player can one time or get a quick release. Like, he is the king of, after a guy scores a goal, the point. You know that play, Ross, when a guy scores a goal and immediately the first thing he does is point at the guy that gave him the pass? I don't know how many times I saw that with Benak's highlight reels, a lot of assists in those reels. And he has the patience to scan for open players and read developing plays. He's like, okay, that guy's there. That means this guy's going to be here. So I should set it up there, and then I'm going to move here. Like, you can really see the gears are turning. And then for him to be able to successfully do all that, you got to be a good skater. He's a smooth, shifty skater. And when you're 5'7", you're growing up knowing that, hey, if I don't learn how to be evasive and dip, dodge, duck, dive, and dodge, I'm not going to be able to get out of the way of big hits from bigger players. And Benak's, he's one of those little players that has figured out how to do that.
Well, what a breakdown. How am I supposed to follow that one up? I guess I'll tell you more about what I watched, which was a lot of what Pillsy said about the highlight reel and just guys being in awe of the passes he was making. To me, this was the most fun highlight reel I've watched so far. Like, this was amazing to see just the determination and ability to thread the needle more so than anybody else that we've covered up to this point. And obviously we're doing it countdown style, so it makes sense for the highest ranked player to be the most talented. But in this case, it really does ring true. And I will say this for the last time. He's 5'7". So will he be a centerman at the next level? It's a very fair question. I think that at 164 pounds, no matter how much, if any, he grows in height, he will not be playing the NHL at 164. You got to think that he'll be hopefully closer to 190, 200. I think in a perfect world, he's a winger who can play a playmaking style. He's born in April, so he just turned 18 years old. He's a left shot, and he is very consistently ranked. And that's where I think it even speaks more so to the fact that everyone kind of understands that there's too much talent to overlook on this guy. 35th at McKean's Hockey, 37th for Scott Wheeler, 39th for Bob McKenzie, and 45th for Craig Button. Now, Corey Prodman doesn't rank him. Elite, Locked On NHL Prospects, we only have a top 32 for them right now, so unranked. And then it's an honorable mention from Elite Prospects, and that's the top 80. So they are the one outlier here that doesn't think that Benák can get it done.
Which is surprising, Ross, because I found he was a great skater, but I didn't have the protractor out, EP, when they're doing skating. They're something that I'm not fully aware of, but they're talking about angles that his leg bends on his strides and things like that, where I'm just like, ooh, him fast, good. So that's about all I can really tell you. But Benák is just so interesting. This feels a bit of a stereotype, Ross, but I would like to go ahead and announce, I've been pretty good on my predictions lately. I would like to go ahead and announce, Adam Benák, you are a member of the Carolina Hurricanes.
And it's going to be, they're going to trade down with their late first round pick. get more assets and then get Benák, and they'll probably say that they would have taken him in the first round.
And Ross, let's add to this thread, this story, playing on a line with Logan Stankoven in the next 4 years.
Come on, no, you can't. You can't do that.
I mean, man, that would be sweet. 2 5'7" players just
and Seth
buzzing
Jarvis,
around.
5'9" on the other side.
Yeah. Let's set that up. And they're doing like Globetrotter stuff, like sliding through guys' legs and like things like that. Oh, it'd be great.
Man, so much talent. Yeah, I could see the Carolina Hurricanes being a spot for him. Don't draft him if you need a crown jewel, but I think he could easily be a second or third best prospect in multiple pools here right after the draft. I do believe in the skill. And I think that the transition for him, one thing we didn't even mention is that this was his first year in North America. So you're getting used to the off-ice living and just getting used to the new system. Youngstown has pumped out a number of National Hockey League talented players over the course of the last a decade or so. And their assistant general manager, it's worth noting, is Czech. So there's a bit of at least a familiarity there. And Benák comes in and leads that team in scoring this season, 6 points more than the next player there. So I think that he's going to be fascinating to see at the combine. I'm sure with those size measurements, the weight training and that sort of thing will go a long way with having how teams place him on their board. But for us on our big board, Adam Benák comes in at number 35. Pilsy, your Sens stars.
I gave him 3 stars, Ross. This is not the guy the Sens should be taking a swing on, but I don't want people to get it twisted. This kid is sick. Like, I think he has some major potential. If I assume he's going to grow another inch or two at least. I mean, that still only brings him to 5'8", 5'9". But all the coaching staff, guys that play with him, general managers that have worked with him, whether with Czechia or Youngstown, like you mentioned, they all talk about how, hey, we get it. He's 5'7", he's small. We get it. But he works hard. He's fearless for how small he is. He's able to evade all these big hits. So that's the type of blueprint for those Martin St. Louis type guys that end up being like, hey, you think I'm small? Great. Chip on my shoulder. I'll prove you wrong. So I'm rooting for Adam Benák and can't wait to see him get swept with the Carolina Hurricanes in 4 years in the Eastern Conference Finals.
You mentioned Logan Stankoven. I think that's a great player comparable for Adam Benák, who, as I mentioned, comes in at number 35 on our Locked On Senators NHL draft rankings with an average rank of 39.